What's up, guys, and welcome to today's vlog. You're probably wondering where the vlog is, but I have been on the phone with Sprint all day, and I know I made a rant about this a few months ago, but you know what? I've got to talk again. So to give you backstory if you're new, here's the situation. I had Intel. Also, this is going to be a beware and maybe possibly check to make sure Sprint is not scamming you. So in 2016, last year, Intelos was bought out by Sprint. So I was told by Intelos to go to Sprint because they're going to now take care of basically remaining contract or any of that stuff. So I went to Sprint and I said, hey, Intelos said that I had to do whatever. So they said, oh, cool, let me put in just a little bit of information. All right, boom, you're on your way. Fast forward to July or August of this year. I don't remember which one. And I called Sprint, and I've had issues with my service the entire time, and I've been dealing with it for so long. And so, through Intelos and Sprint, actually. And so, I said, hey, you know, I'm having issues, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, the woman, I asked her when my contract was up, and she said, it's up in October, so that's fine. And then she did a whole bunch of nonsense, because that's when I found out that there are no towers in my area, and I've had service with a cell phone company between Sprint and Intelos for 2 years, and no one has ever told me that there's no service in this area. Whatever, that's on me. Joke's on me. So, anyway, she told me October that this was going to change. So, or that my contract was up. It's October. So I thought, you know what? I get paid Friday. I'm going to see what I can do, what I need to do, make sure everything's good, and me and Tracy are going to go switch cell phone providers Friday. So I call Sprint today, and I said, hey, I called in July or August, whatever, and I said, I just wanted to verify. I said, she told me my contract was done in October, so I just want to make sure that that's true, you know, and that way I can go ahead and get done with my switch and stuff like that, because I don't have any service where I'm at, and blah, blah, blah. And so the woman said, oh, she said, well, your service agreement is done, but you still owe 2 months on your phone. And I thought, okay, that's pretty weird, but whatever. Seems a touch strange, but whatever. So that kind of made me mad, but then I was like, you know what? It's just, I think it was like 120 bucks to pay both phones off, and I was like, whatever. And I came home, talked to Tracy for a minute, and I was like, yeah, should we go ahead and do it? So I called Sprint back, and I was like, cool, I'm just going to go do it. So I called the guy, and I said, hey, I just want to, I said, I called earlier, and they said that I still owe 2 months worth of payments on my phone. I just want to go ahead and pay them off, that way I can get done what I need to do so I can go ahead and switch, because I don't have service in my area. And he was like, oh, cool, let me check something. Long story short, he came back and he was like, well, I'm not sure. He was like, because your contract with us, your service agreement and your phone payment isn't done until July of 2018. And I said, what? And he said, it's not done until July of 2018. And that's how long you have to pay for it. And I said, I called in July and they told me it was done in October. And then I called earlier today and she said I had 2 months left. And now I called back just a little bit later, and you're telling me that I have another, what, July, that's 7, 8, 9 more months worth of payments? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, I keep getting misinformation. And so he was like, yeah, it ends in July of 2018. You know, your service started on this date. And I said, let me ask you something, man. I said, what date does it say that I started my Sprint account? And he said July of 2017 or 2016. And I said, so basically what happened is, you mean to tell me when I was told that I had to switch to Sprint, they auto-renewed a 2-year contract with me without ever telling me, and I didn't get a new phone or anything? And of course, he, you know, oh, I'm not sure what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, that's, if you're telling me it's July and I switched to Sprint in July of 2016, and it ends in July, that means when I went to Intelos and they told me that I needed to switch to Sprint because it was bought out, I went to Sprint and they said, hey, we'll get you set up. I did not buy a new phone. I didn't buy any kind of plan. It was supposed to basically just, basically Sprint was just taking over what Intelos had. But no, 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 not for me. And I'm not saying that the guy that did it was wrong. I actually know the guy that switched me, and dude is not a shady dude. I don't think I know he wouldn't do that. But I don't know what happened, but somehow Sprint got it in their head that that was the start of my plan, and that I had got a new phone and all kinds of stuff like that. And it infuriates me. That makes me so mad. And the thing is, I never would have known this had it not been for me having no service in the area. So what is Sprint doing to other people who aren't aware? I'm so mad right now. Is that not against the law? You can't just auto-renew a contract, especially when I'm not even getting anything out of it. I didn't get a phone upgrade. I didn't change my plan at all. Like, literally nothing changed, except for my bill got higher because Sprint is so much cheaper according to their commercials. But other than that, everything stayed the same. So I'm being charged, essentially, an addition. When this contract is up, I will have had this phone for 3 years. Also, I have been vlogging for almost 500 consecutive days. Every vlog I've ever recorded, I've recorded on this thing. And even videos prior to this, such as before I started vlogging, which would have been in, let's see, I started vlogging in July of 2016. Did I start vlogging right when we switched to Sprint? Now that I think about it. Anyway, I did vlogs earlier in the year, including a vlog where I went to my sister Amanda's graduation at Radford. Guess what? Recorded on this phone. So, I don't know what they're doing outside of basically literally just scamming me out of money, but it's very infuriating. And I've been told twice now by Sprint that they're going to email me some papers to get in some kind of form saying I don't have service in the area, so I can switch it over. And that's fine and dandy. And I told the guy on the phone, and I did tell the guy, I said, look, man, in no way, shape, or form am I mad at you. You're literally just the messenger. You're just doing your job, and you're helping me out the best that you can, and I appreciate that. I said, but it's so frustrating that now I'm going to have to do all this crap with paperwork and all this crap with any other thing, and I shouldn't have to do that because this is not my problem. I didn't sign up for anything. I didn't sign up to get additional services or phones, and now I'm having to jump through hoops in order to prevent myself from having service that I don't even have on some kind of technicality that Sprint just decided to renew a 2-year contract that I never even had with them to begin with. So I hope you see my point of this. And nobody in customer service ever wants to help me out. I always call and it's always basically just, well, sorry, here's some papers you can fill out. Because obviously if you tell them I didn't buy anything, they're just like, huh, what? So I don't know, man. I get really frustrated. And then Sprint sent me a message like, oh, hey, how likely are you to recommend service to Sprint on a scale of 0 to 10? And I put 0. I said, I absolutely would never recommend service for Sprint to anyone because of the hoops that I've had to jump through in order to get something taken care of that's not even my fault. No one wants to help out, and it's super frustrating. And I said, furthermore, I would not usually do this, but you've put me in such a bad mood that not only will I never tell anyone to have service with Sprint again, but I will actively go out of my way to try to tell people who have Sprint to switch from Sprint. Because this has just been an absolute nightmare. The last year, I've probably mentioned in my vlogs, probably since we've started, about how much I hate my cell phone service. And of course, that was a whole big to-do. I mentioned it in the last vlog, or in the last Sprint rant, about how I've went through having service with Sprint and Telos for how many ever months it was at the time, and no one ever told me there was no towers in the area. I've called customer service a blue million times about not being able to use my cell phone at my house or literally anywhere, and no one until there was like 3 months left on my contract. Well, the original 3 months that I had left on my contract before whatever in God's name happened. Then they were like, oh, that's because you don't have any cell phone service. Sorry, there's no towers in your area. So, Sprint, you've made me really, really mad. You've definitely lost a customer for life. I will, once this is done, I hope this gets solved. Even if I have to wait my contract out, which I'm going to do everything in my power to not have to do, I will never, you could offer me a bunch of money, and I will never, ever use your service again. You've lost a customer and you've screwed me over, and I really don't like that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this will be my last Sprint rant, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.